Guys, I'm Jerry Salinas at Scottsdale Artist School. This is our show. It's all about the art, or something like that. I'm here with Derek Penix. He's here doing a workshop this week.
Yes.
I heard a gasp. Even he's excited that he's here. We're social distance. I'm going to talk. I'm going to step out. We are wearing our masks, all the students. He has a fantastic class. Some of the students have been texting me, letting me know what's going on, and I have taken him. He's just, it's not only fun, but very educational, and that's what we're going to talk about today, some of his art. So here's Derek right now. How's it going, Derek?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thanks for coming here. This is fantastic. And is this your second time here this year?
I don't know.
Well, within a year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So one thing your students, I was walking around talking to them a little earlier, and they were amazed at how many demos you've done already. And you're only here for 4 days, right?
Yes.
Was it 3 demos or 4 demos?
So far 3, there'll be another
3?
tomorrow.
Oh, and
There might be 2 tomorrow.
Wow, okay. But we're going to talk about these two. This is one he started today, and these are some trees. We have the reference. Now, I have taken Derek's a workshop, so I know a few things about his process. But I'm going to ask him anyway. And here's his reference, and what he does, he puts dots down as a grid system, and he puts those same dots also on his canvas. And you can talk about that.
Well, yeah, it's to lay out your drawing. So this is not so difficult to draw on. It's just some figure or whatever. But so say if I have the same proportions of my reference as my canvas. So if they're both say square or both the same proportions, 2:3 ratio or whatever it is ratio, I can place these dots. So I'll do it sometimes as an aid to sort of help. So I just kind of eyeball, with my mind, just kind of look from the top of the photo to the bottom. I'll place a dot. And then I'll kind of eyeball from there to the edge, and I'll place another dot. So I'll quickly can put these dots in. This is a little bit crude. And then I'll do the same thing on the canvas, and then quickly you have some kind of reference, some kind of anchors to place your drawing in with.
It's a wonderful Arizona tree that Derek's painted. He took the photograph out here by the school. We saw how he uses points to do his drawing, but as we see the painting, we see some nice things happening with the reflected light and the halftones. And one thing his students were talking about, we love how he puts the details and the colors in the halftones where the light meets the shadow. You were talking about that's the detail. We see some of it here, and there's some of it happening here. And it goes beyond the photo, which I love.
I'll just tell you what I'm thinking as I look at it. So whatever kind of tree this is, I don't even know, a sycamore tree? I'm looking at the light. So this painting really is more than just the tree. It's really more, I feel like it's more about the light than the tree. That's what I want it to be. And the tree's there just to catch the light. And so I'm really wanting to pick the quality of the light. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm painting. So as the sunlight's hitting the tree, what can I do to help embellish that and bring that out? So I'm thinking, okay, we got light here. I want to paint it with more paint, more color, right? Where the shadows are, I want to use less texture to dial back that information a little bit so that I would hit here and have those textures and something to look at. So I'm focused in on what's the light doing. So we have the light hit inside the tree. We got reflective lights bouncing up on the bottom of this branch. There's a core dark going right through there. It's slightly cooler. And then you have your light back again. There's some hiding, some little halftones mixed in. So I'm thinking about all the elements of light and shadow, where the light's hitting, what's the shadows doing, what's the reflective lights doing, and trying to get that dialogue, and then the dialogue of the warms and cools between each one of those elements of light and shadow. Because each element of light and shadow has a color temperature associated with it. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm painting. And as I'm painting, I'm also worried about, thinking about variety. So every brush stroke, every shape, I want to be unique, be different one from another. Every sky hole, every piece of information I want unique. Nothing repeating in any form, no pattern. Maximum randomness.
What I love, if you look at this area of the tree, he pulled this branch away a little bit and showed some of the sky hole to explain that branch there. I think it's genius.
I do too. No, joking. Edit, no.
if we have to social distance, but I'm patting him on the back.
Oh, yes.
Great job, actually. All right, so what size is this?
1620.
16 by 20. All right, so you're playing with your warms and your cools. You have your warms coming forward. The sky is cool going back. Is that?
That's true. I didn't think about it, but yeah, that's happening.
So we got this wonderful tree. This is a demo today. Now this is a past demo, or do you want to call it? Might just call it a demo today.
Just whatever, sure.
All right. So
No, I passed him out.
okay, we have this. Derek also brought in another painting from a past workshop where he did this demo, and we see some peaches, and it's kind of the similar thing going on with the sky holes. But geez, look at the color in some of this. This isn't just white. I'll show you some close-ups, but you really see some mauve, some pinks, some oranges, some light green, some sky blue coming through there. And these negative shapes are explaining these wonderful peaches there. But if you could talk about how he paints these peaches, is it similar to the tree trunks?
Yeah, again, it's a light and shadow painting, so I'm concerned about what's the light doing, what's the angle of the light, more than the subject matter even. But I'm concerned about where's the light hitting, the reflective lights, these core darks. So for example, here's your light, and then your shadow. There's a core dark, the darkest dark in that shadow area. Above that, within the light, got the halftone. I'm looking at that halftone. I have the reflective light here at the bottom of the fruit. So I'm worried about that. This originally started off with a blue sky background, and for whatever reason, when I was just kind of touching it up, I sort of went crazy and decided I want to make it this sort of a white cream color. And so when I was doing that, I liked it, so I ran with it. So in the process, when I did that, I was really subtracting color because the blue is so blue, and then it also sort of had the side effect of making the fruit pop out more. I kind of like that effect. And also, it's kind of a non-color compared to blue, and with that unity going across the whole painting, I just enjoyed how it changed the painting. So I just went with it sort of intuitively. So it's almost a made-up painting, more than really using too much of a reference. And so I'm just kind of pushing and pulling the warms and the cools and the greens, pushing these warms and cools in the fruit, and letting, I really want that eye, again, it's just like this one. What I'm really concerned about is the eye flowing around the painting, but there's nothing really hanging you up into any one thing. So it's really an equalization style painting more than a focal point. I mean, I guess you could say you do have like a focal point here, your eye's gonna hit, but more for me, I'm worried about sort of multiple, you could say focal points, where your eye's just gonna flow and hit that edge, you'll go and see that light. You're flowing around and catching bits and pieces of information, but a lot of the painting is just filler for those main points that I want to bring out. So,
Now you said you added the white onto the sky hole area over the blue. Did you wait for it to dry?
it was dry.
It was dry already?
Yeah.
Did you have to use a medium or with the light
I
on?
may maybe use a little bit, but with how I'm painting, how I painted this, it's more, doesn't really matter. So I'm just letting there be a lot of texture. So, I don't know. I was gonna say. Edit.
So you just went over the blue with the white a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Did you at all use a knife or was it just the brush?
I use a lot of knife. You see some knife work here. And for me, knife, I'm usually scooching the paint around with a knife more than applying it with a knife. And I'm looking for busting up edges and busting up shapes and getting sort of irregularities. Because again, I don't want anything to repeat. No patterns. So I tend to paint with one brush quite a bit, just probably number 6 or 8 filbert most of the time. And so I'm loving bringing in a knife and kind of breaking those shapes up because I don't want the monotony of the same brush stroke repeating over and over and over again.
Do you at all squint at your painting at any time to see the shapes, like the lights and darks?
Yes,
The
constantly.
pattern.
I'm squinting at my subject matter to see the dialogue of my values and to compare my values and see what I want to bring into the painting. But also, as I squint, it's for me, squinting sometimes it's as if I'm stepping back, simplifying the painting down, and I can see it maybe in a different light, if you could say, to see what's popping out. Is my eye kind of getting stuck on any one shape or whatever?
Now, since I've taken your workshop, you do step back. Can you tell us why you step back? And how far do you step back?
I step back a lot. In the workshops, I don't even step back as much as I do when I'm really painting in the studio. But I'm stepping back because I'm wanting to see what it's really looking like. When you're up close and you're painting hard, it's easy to lose sort of the context of what's really going on. For me, my mind starts getting fried. I've looked at it too long. I come back the next day after painting and I'm like, what did I do? I don't remember painting that. But to help me to stay fresh, I'll step back a lot or I'll use a pretty big mirror that's on the back of the studio and I'll look at the painting in the mirror to see the painting in reverse. And that helps me to stay fresh in my mind to see what's going on. because I want to stay objective. I want to see the painting freshly as I'm painting it, which is difficult to do when you're spending hours and hours staring at one painting for so long, right?
Well, Derek, this was fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, good.
We always learn a lot. The students are so happy that you're here.
Right, thank
Can't
you.
wait for you to get back. I got to take you again, and I got to start painting some peaches. I probably won't. I'll try it and I'll get sad. But thank you for being here, and
Thank you.
we'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Okay.